Hey, it's Tammy Jersey Roberts, functional nutrition counselor, and this is video 4 of 4, how to quit sugar for life. So let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about 10 ways to quit sugar and feel amazing. So let's just dive in head first. So, number one, yes, just dive in head first. Don't plan to do it tomorrow. Don't do it next week. Just start. Just do it right now. There are a ton of excuses to wait. I know. I thought of a lot of them before I started. There's this random event coming up. There's a holiday coming up. There's a wedding coming up, and there will be sweets there. I'll wait until after Valentine's Day. I should finish up this sugary food I already have in my cabinet first, cookies and whatever. So just stop right there. I can tell you for a fact there will always be another excuse. You just have to do it and do it right now. Go into your pantry, take your beloved box of honey sugar puff frosted rainbow cereal and throw it in the trash bin because you won't be needing it anymore. It is killing you after all. You're not really going to put up with that from a box of cereal now, are you? So number 2, read the labels on everything. Always, always, always. No matter how safe you think the food is that you're buying, read the label. Thinking about trying that new sauce that your best friend told you about for the first time. Read the label. Recipes call for ingredients that you've never heard of. Read the label. Brands that you don't usually eat on a buy one, get one free, or you have a coupon. That's wonderful. Just read the label. I know I'm being redundant and repeating myself a lot here, but playing label detective is repetitive business. Do it until you're the expert. Do it until you can read the label upside down, backwards, and with your eyes closed in under 10 seconds. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point. Read the label on everything. Number 3, take time to find replacements. Write out your usual shopping list, but keep a double space so you can take notes between the lines. On the day when you have plenty of time, take your list to the grocery store, and as you shop, employ trick number 2. Play label detective with your list. When you find something that you regularly purchase that it has sugar hidden in it, just cross it off your list and explore the surrounding shelves and find a replacement which passes inspection. Then write it under the crossed off item. After you're finished, hang on to that list and use it as a reference for future shopping trips. The other thing that you can do in our Facebook group is we have people post labels all the time. Oh, I just noticed spell check, change that, but anyway, no worries. The next one is avoid the inner aisles completely. And no, I'm not talking about islands. I'm talking about the aisles. AISLES. I do know how to spell it. Number 4, this was some of the best advice that I ever got when I was battling with my sugar addiction. Most of what adorns the shelves that are in the inner aisles at the grocery store, it's usually full of hidden and not so hidden sugars. Don't even let yourself be tempted. Shop the perimeter of the store and ignore the rest as much as possible. Number 5, it only takes 2 weeks and sometimes less. You read me right. 2 weeks of no sugar, and I mean no sugar, and you will find that you no longer crave it. You need to keep this in mind because during that 2 weeks, you may go through all the symptoms of withdrawal. You may be irritable. You may snap at people. You may even get to the point where you think you'd punch your best friend in the kisser for a Snickers bar. But don't cheat. If you do, your addiction will reset and you'll have to start your 2 weeks again from day one. And I might add that if you do cheat, the cravings will come back worse than they ever have been. So, number 6, keep a journal. When I'm doing something which requires a lot of willpower, as quitting sugar assuredly does, I find it helpful to keep records of my thoughts with a pen and paper. Make yourself a give up sugar journal with at least 14 pages. I reverse numbered mine so I could see how close I was every day. So the first page is page 14. But you should do, whatever you find the most helpful. Try to write in it at least once a day. When you have a tough one, write down what troubled you and how you dealt with it without turning to sugar. That way, when you're struggling with the urge to eat something sweet, you can look back and read just how hard you've been fighting against those cravings and what you did about it. So, number 7, plan it out. You know it's only going to be for 2 weeks until this maddening addiction releases the death grip on your body. So before you start, make a plan. Write out every meal you'll eat from day 1 to day 14 and stick to your guns. When you buy groceries, read the labels. Only buy what you need to make the things on your menu. Ignore everything else. Remember, you're just like a recovering alcoholic in a convenience store. The object of your addiction is right there, prominently displayed and conveniently within reach. It's up to you to resist it. Having a plan will help. Another thing that you can do is what I do a lot of times, so I don't have to walk by the bakery in the grocery store, because that's usually one of the first things up front, is I use grocery pickup. It not only keeps me from buying extra stuff, but it keeps me from having to go in the store too. So the number 8 strategy is to team up with someone else. It's so much easier to break an addiction if you have a quit buddy. I was lucky during my quit sugar adventure that my then boyfriend was an excellent cook and supported my decision to give up sugar. He never ate any sugar and rarely ate any carbs. He helped by gently steering me away from sugary foods and through the positive feedback every day. I'm honestly not sure that I would have been able to do it without that support. My last piece of advice to you is team up. Find a friend, a coworker, a relative, or even a total stranger online who shares your sugar quitting ambitions. Talk to them as much as possible during the first 2 weeks. And remember to keep it positive. Breaking the addiction is not going to be easy, but if you're persistent, you will get there. And I'm sure there are several people in my Facebook group that could easily team up. And if you can't find anyone, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to be that support person for you. So number 9, know the hidden sugar signals. While processed food manufacturers are notorious for hiding sugar in odd places, there are a handful of signals that almost always denote its presence. Like whenever you see anything that says low fat, reduced fat, or fat free, anything that should have fat in it, but from which, said the fat has been removed, it almost always has sugar added, usually in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Why? Because fat is what makes it taste good. Taking the fat out of foods makes it taste less good. And so that's why they put sugar in it. And whenever you see ingredients ending in ose, O-S-E, it is some type of a sugar. There are a lot of them, and they all have different chemical structures, but they all have one thing in common. They're all fancy words for sugar. Anything that says 0 grams per serving is probably a lie. If something says that it has 0 grams of sugar per serving, or with some funny symbol other than asterisk next to it, beware. Check the serving size. It is an unreasonably amount, most likely, 1 bite or something like that. If so, you'll find sugar somewhere in the ingredients list. If one serving contains less than a certain amount of sugar, companies are allowed to round down to 0. It's dastardly. I mean, it's horrible, but it is legal. And that's how they're getting away with it. And since we're talking about the sugar and hidden sugars, there are some foods now that have the sugar and they just say sugar on the label, but then they're tricking you by saying there's only 2 or 3 net carbs in it. Well, we're not even talking about that. I mean, that is a dietary theory about net carbs and all that. And I'm sure I'm talking about the keto is the market that they're going after with that label. So they might throw some fiber in to make the net carbs come down. But as long as it still says sugar, no, we're not eating that. So number 10, indulge in your safe foods. Now I'm saying indulge, but I'm just talking about the first 2 weeks while you're kicking the habit, because some of these you don't want to indulge in them. Go ahead and treat yourself to any sugar-free foods that are comfort foods to you. It should take some edge off the sugar cravings. Just beware of foods that contain artificial sweeteners, as they usually come with their own long list of health damaging effects. Sugar alcohols tend to make you gassy, and they even cause diarrhea in some people. So the sugar alcohols are the types of artificial sweeteners that end in OL. Some of those are natural and some are artificial. So anytime you see a sweetener that ends in OL, it's a sugar alcohol, and it can either make you gassy or give you diarrhea if you eat too much. And so that's what I meant, that go ahead and eat these foods for the next 2 weeks just to take the sugar cravings away. So some of the best safe snack foods that are always, on my list are raw veggies with some kind of a dairy-free dip, maybe guacamole or something like that. Turkey slices with mustard and avocado, apple with almond butter, maybe some kind of a gluten-free toast. Gluten-free meaning it's made out of almond flour or cassava flour with avocado and hummus, celery with hummus or guacamole, olives and feta cheese, nuts, seeds, and raw cacao nibs. That's chocolate, little chocolate. With nuts and seeds, I don't recommend cashews, but at this point, they're fine if you want to snack on them, but sunflower seeds, pecans, walnuts, and the almonds, the raw cacao nibs are just little pieces of chocolate. They're actually a fat. And so you can also do kale chips with guacamole, cassava chips with guacamole. I usually do non-dairy yogurt, but at this stage, just go ahead and do plain yogurt and then add some low sugar gluten-free granola or add some berries to it. And again, berries with some almond milk poured over them. Lots and lots of ideas also in my Facebook group of different things that you can do. So that was 10 strategies to help you quit sugar for life. So I prepared another free handout, how to read nutrition labels for hidden sugars. There are over 57 names of sugars, and more chemical type names are coming up. And I've prepared a short handout on how to read the nutrition label to look for hidden sugars. So I encourage you to download that for free. It's in the comments or the description, depending on where you're watching this video from. But again, this was video 4 of 4. So ask yourself, how long have you been trying to balance your blood sugar? This is only going to take 2 weeks at the very most. Most people's symptoms are gone within a week or so. And, ask yourself, how long have you been overweight? And yes, you can figure it out and say you're going to do it next week and say, oh, I got to wait till after this and after that. Well, the best time to do anything is to just stop making excuses and just do it now. You can get on a path that works starting today, and I'll be happy to help you. People in my group will be happy to help you. Find a friend that can help you. I strongly encourage you. This will be one of the best things that you ever do for your health. Again, I'm Tami Jersey Roberts. This is video 4 of 4 on how to quit sugar for life. And so my Facebook group is called Blood Sugar Masters. So if you're not in that group, just get on over there and join it, because there are plenty of people in there who have quit sugar for life, and any of them I'm sure would be happy to help you, and I would be happy to help you. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day.